So welcome to the Node.js Node API team meeting for June 23rd, 2023. We'll follow our standard approach of going through the things we've tagged for milestone 11. Let me bring that up. Before we get started though, does anybody have any news they'd like to share? If not, I will bring up the issues and we can dive right in. So labels. Milestones 11. Okay, we will, just a heads up for anybody watching, we do have a number of our members out this week, so we won't have as much coverage as we normally do. Guess we're heading into the summer season. So the first one is drive towards full coverage. So Jack has been pushing that forward. I don't think we have any updates on that one. Adding a list of non-C language bindings. Nicola has been working on that, but he's not here. So I don't think there's an update on that one. I haven't done anything on enabling the debug testings. Let's go through the ones that we can quickly cover. We already talked about what's new in the Node API world, so I don't think there's any news that we have to share at this instant. And Kevin did help with some work on improving the OpenSF scorecard one. He got the code2L part working and we've landed that. So I still want to find time to go back and look at what it's telling us and how we might improve. But thanks to Kevin for moving that forward. So I think that takes us back to looking at our stale issues before we dive into open issues on the different areas. I know some of these are longer term things, and Vladimir, you're working on them, so I don't know that we need to necessarily poke on each one individually, but are there any updates that you want to share or questions for other people?
Yeah, I made some progress yesterday with pure finalizers. So I submitted code, and so technically I also submitted like a few tests. I still want to write a bit more tests. So I have some positive tests passing. So I need to do negative tests, make sure that they're also not working. But thankfully, idea about these pure finalizers that in a newer version, or actually starting with experimental version, finalizers will run code immediately in response to GC. And
so is that this one right here?
Yes, yes, okay. Yes. I renamed this PR, so I'm reusing the same old PR.
Yeah,
but I kind of refreshed all content of this PR yesterday, and yeah.
So I think I'm just going to add it into here. It's like, so you're working on the implementation in that PR, right? So is it at the point where you want people to take a look, or is it still kind of a work in progress?
Yeah, I still give me like probably this weekend to finalize it. Should I mark it as draft for now, or what's best?
It's probably good to mark it as draft, just so that, you know, that'll prevent people from thinking it's ready to go. Or if it was newer, there might be a higher risk of that. Since it's been around a while, I think it's less likely somebody will come across and say, hey, let's run CI and whatever. But yeah.
Okay, I made it a PR, but thankfully core part, I think I'm quite happy with how it looks like. I just need to add a couple of more tests, and so all previous tests passing.
Okay, that's a good start for sure.
But yeah, and also because I have a new function called Node API post finalizer. So thankfully, I need to document this new function.
Okay, sounds good. It's nice. It's good to hear that the model that we've been thinking about discussing looks nice, or seems to flow nicely in the code, because that's always a good confirmation. Okay, I think that's maybe only updates on there. We can now then look at issues in the particular repo. So let's go down into the node. So here I see we have, yes, okay, so that's some of the things that I needed to figure out these are some of the Dependabot type things to land. Just poking into here, but like any ones that in the Node add-on API that we should discuss? See anything too new or things that jump out to me? If not, let's flip over to Node. And here's open. So this one. So I don't think there's anything to discuss, but it looks like it's been there for a while. So I'm just going to go CI requested and start the request CI. Maybe it's request CI. We can start a CI on that one. So I don't really see anything popping up new. Are there any ones on this side that anybody wants to discuss? I guess if not, then just more generally, is there anything we want to discuss? A bit of a shorter meeting since we don't have as many people here, but
it was PR submitted by Chen John about a new version, a new name for an API version, internal API version. I suggested to have different name.
Right. Did that already, like, I'm not seeing it yet, but maybe it's not labeled. Let's see. I got that right. Ah, yes. Okay. I'm going to tag this with.
Oh, yeah. It just does not have right. Yeah.
Right. We had a discussion in this one about NAPI version redefined. I think we agreed we'd make December major, right?
I think it's okay. It should not affect any internal code. Yeah, I had this proposal here. I think that Chen John didn't have a chance to look at it yet.
Okay.
Just I'm asking like if people can not to land it until Chen John has a chance to look at these comments.
Yeah, I would agree. So this is one where like I'm okay, you know, I'll chime and say I agree we should find a name that more clearly states what the value means.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned that the new name uses module, but I think it's not about modules, it's about what core uses. Right. Yeah.
So this is one where I'm gonna like request changes. You know, even though I was saying we were talking yesterday, I said I would very rarely do that. But like this one, I think is one where like it's worthwhile to actually put the blocker to say like, yeah, let's make sure we have the name right before we change it. Like you were suggesting, what were some of your suggestions? API supported version.
Yeah, like I believe API support version could be good candidate, or like in the end, as a kind of if we decide to have a range, we can have a Node API max supported version, Node API min supported version. So technically,
Right, like that's what I was thinking.
yeah, sorry, like we put max too early. Like sorry, Node API Max. I mean, this Node API.
Right. Okay. Right. So yes. So this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, that's the right one anyway. So. Because I think that's really what we're saying, right? Like when you get that version, we're saying the maximum version that is supported is this,
Right.
and you can choose lower ones. We don't have anything that says what's the minimum version you can choose though with, or, I mean, there is no minimum. It should be, you can choose right down to the lowest one.
Okay, I just put like a minimum for completeness, if you like.
Yeah.
Ever in future we decide like, okay, we're not supporting version Node API version 6 anymore for whatever reason. But at this point we don't have such reason.
Yeah.
I guess we can just always kind of come back to this minimum version discussion, let's say 10 years from now. And we'll be at version like 121 and say like, okay, we don't want to support version 8 anymore.
Now, but the naming, but yeah, so I'm just gonna say, like, I agree, like, I don't think we should do it now, but it's good to have that option. Okay, so I'll just chime in there, yeah, and then we'll see what Shenzong thinks on that one as well.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Okay. Any others that maybe not have been tagged or that you think we should talk about?
Sorry, I didn't look on any others yet.
Okay. No, and I'm just looking like there aren't any other sort of new ones or anything, or ones that I'm aware of either that.
Yeah, I didn't look closely.
Okay, well, I think, you know, we can give everybody some time back if that's all there is to discuss this week, and we will see everybody in GitHub in next week then.
Right. See you.
Okay, thanks for everybody's time.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.